Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna get some fluids in me. Anyways, I'm going to start this. Okay. So for starters, I guess the first change and the one I did not expect, to be honest, was that Baiken's defense got increased um from, it was 1.18 in all the other games, including Rev 2.0. Um, but it was increased in this patch to 1.12. So she had the third worst defense modifier, which was probably like not too far off from Milia actually. Milia's like 1.22, so it was like only 3 or 4%, like less than Milia. But she took quite a hit. I mean, she still does, but there are instances where you would die before, and now thanks to the defense modifier buff, her guts kind of kicks in sooner, so you have more chances to live, which gives you a little more leeway to play a little bit more risky. Oh, what up, Wild Wolf? Just doing a quick stream over Vikings changes in this patch. I'll get to Red Asami in a minute. There's a couple I feel that it might have actually helped. Well, it's more than help. It's a pretty big deal. But yeah, like I was saying, 1.12 defense modifier. So that's close to Ravens. That's like 1% off of Ravens. So her health is similar to Ravens now. Her guts isn't as high as his per se, but it's just like almost there. It's 4. It's not 5, but it's 4. So she's a lot more, I guess, beefier, which makes sense, given how much more risky she is in Exert in general compared to her past iterations, especially like Plus R and AC. Especially Plus R, where Sakura was like 10 frames. So, as you're playing against Baiken, or if you're playing as Baiken, certain characters probably won't kill you as fast. For example, this weekend I fought against Soul a whole lot, and I was able to survive on like a couple of pixels, maybe like in like around 5% health, 10% health, where I would have previously just like died completely. And I was able to turn things around, so when things get closer, then it helps. So that's that. It's pretty self-explanatory. She got a Hitbox change. So let me pick Leo real quick. She had a wonky horizontal hitbox before. Some weird stuff would happen with her getting hit and whatnot. But they kind of fixed that, so there's previously stuff like Leo 236H would like act really funky on her. I don't think I can like afford it now since I don't have Rev 2.0, but stuff like this would like hit really weird and Leo would be in like a weird position. But they kind of normalized her Hitbox, so that's it. It doesn't make too big of a deal, to be honest. I don't think it's really worth mentioning per se. Let me go back to Elfelt so I can show off one of the really important changes. Her 5H got buffed. I think the hitbox was like, and the hurtbox were expanded vertically. Not so much horizontally, because it still hits at this range, as it did before, but you do something like, I hope I can hit this damn combo. Wow, I cannot execute today. Basically, it allows her new combos. If I can hit this damn combo. So right there. So where that 5H hits after Kushinashi, in the previous patch it would not hit there before, but thanks to the vertical hitbox being expanded, she can now slip that in. So stuff like TKO Zonsen combos actually got better. Sorry, my execution is bad, but you get the idea. Oh, what's up, Silver Forte? I just tried starting to learn this combo today, so I gotta get used to it. But stuff like that allows you to put in Tatami after Yozansen and still like get a knockdown. Yeah, there you go. I'm just gonna spin the bar. But you get the idea. Right, this is definitely a new combo you could you know, learn if you're playing Baiken. Somebody give me Kellen's hands so I can execute this. You can kinda use her 5H as an anti-air. Let me try and record something real quick. It's not the most reliable, to be honest, because it's only active for like 1 frame, but you can hit it like right where it's hard. You're liable to trade too, but it can actually hit in spots where it didn't hit before. Like right there. Yeah, you might as well use 6P, cause actually now that we are actually talking about 6P, let me get into that change. So 6P's hitbox got expanded actually. More specifically the internal hitbox, so yeah, she can actually do 5P. I mean, not 5P, 6P, 5H, and that actually works as like a 2-hit anti-air or normal hit. That's so nice. Like that is actually nice. Whereas before, you would just have to just put her on regular jump. Before you would just have to jump cancel 6P, and like you really had to confirm it or just like blindly do it. But now you can do this. Jump woman. That's right there. That is actually nice. Like she did not have that before, so. And if they block it, then well, I mean you can make it safe and whatnot. I don't know how to combo off this yet. Oh, there we go. But yeah, you can actually do that. So 6P, 5H is like the new normal hit, anti-air confirm. Which is like super nice. That's so nice. And you can go into Kushinashi, blah blah blah, etc. etc. I'm not sure what to do mid-screen so far. I'll have to work on that. That's probably not gonna work. No. The combo you do, or the usefulness of this, will probably depend on your screen positioning and if the character is like a light character, medium character, or heavy. I'll have to work on this as a confirm later. But 6P by itself, you can hit stuff much deeper, and you can do things like that. Yeah, you probably won't get anything without meter, so you'll probably just have to stick to the anti-air confirm. But just having a way more reliable 6P is like so good. Like it anti-air stuff that it didn't anti-air before. Let me see, where is this man? This character. This character is still gonna be a problem for Baiken. But it probably won't be as bad. I'm stupid. Okay. Johnny. But yeah, Johnny will still probably be a problem. Yeah, the new 6P is way more reliable. It's yeah, Johnny's a problem for mostly everyone. Whoops, that was not good. Is that deep enough? Okay, so buttons like that. That! Hella could not anti-air that before. I'm probably doing that too. But now Baiken can. So that is so nice. There's no way in hell she was anti-airing that before. So the 6P buff is more than welcome, because that means you can reliably land this. Like, land this more often, that will make your rounds go quicker. So that is super nice. And I guess it helps when you're trying to pick up confirms into 6P as well. Like float combos into Dust Loop, etc. So overall, her 6P is really strong now. 2D. Okay, so her 2D. The 6P. Let's see. I want to say no, even though I played against Soul the most in 2.1. I just run under it, honestly. I have not tried to anti-air it like legit. What's the common Soul sequence? Something like that. Let's see. I might be mistiming it. Okay. Let's just jump in with this. Oh. No. What? It mostly clashes now. Yeah. Oh god. Wait, I got the game wrong? Oh my god. Sorry, I have not streamed in forever. Let's change the game real quick. Thank you for pointing that out, because Baiken does not exist in well, actually no, I think it's just going to say Rev1 because mine's is an upgrade. Unless there's a way I can change the game from here. Guilty Gear Xrd. Rev. Okay, there we go, Rev2. Okay. Okay. Hold up. Let me like restart this real quick. 6P Asami OS. Can I do that? Okay. Okay. I don't know about that. Yeah, I would not try that. Yeah, I would definitely not try to zombie the second hit of his jump age, because at that point it's just gonna be a safe jump, and then you are going to get swept, and then you're gonna die. So no, don't do that, please. Okay, so 2D. Before her 2D had like 70% proration, I believe. It was like 70, 75, 80-ish percent proration. But they reduced that heavy proration on it, so let's see. If I can execute today. Get more damage from 2D starter. course I'm gonna pick the Baiken avatar. Come on, man. Why am I not using my color? Because I accidentally switched the one player side because I'm stupid. So that's why. I don't feel like going back to the character select, but hey, you get more damage off of this. Yeah. If I can hit this damn combo, but you get the idea. You get that 188. You would not get that before from 2D starter. So yeah, I believe it's 80% proration instead of 70%. So you get more damage. What that does for this character is that when she has 50 meter for TKO Zonsen mix-up, TKO Zonsen 2D 50-50, it's a lot scarier because from either option she's going to be taking off quite a lot of damage. So that is actually nice. Yeah, more alert off empty low, etc. So you get close, pretty much around the same damage. So that's actually really nice. Sure, someone will like super optimize this for mid-screen mix up from that 50-50. I'll have to work on that. I haven't had too much time to learn new combos and whatnot. But yeah, 2D is better. So use it more. Okay, so jump S. Oh, PSN Avies? If you look under the PSN store, you can get them under the avatar section. It's a little hidden, finding the themes and avatars because the PSN store is all over the place now. But just type it in, and type it under the search bar. Let's see. So jump S, the extended hitbox on this move comes out faster now. I want to say it comes out on frame 9, I believe. Somewhere between 7 and 9. We don't have like hard numbers yet. It's somewhere around there, but it's faster, which is like so good. It's so good. It's like this button is much harder to contest now. Let's see if I can put Baiken. Then not only is it hard to contest and it's a better air, yeah, I think I heard frame 9 as well, LTO. Okay, well, yeah, so like around that area-ish, it's hard for your opponent to even 6P, so I was using this a lot on Friday, that and the Asami or Jump H or whatever, which is like reverse Gatling, and a lot of people were having trouble contesting that. So when you're at that distance, like it's easier for her to, you know, whiff punish you or just like kind of force her way in. So it's much better when you need to get in. So it's mad good against zoners. I can imagine this is gonna be like super good against someone like Dizzy, who's like constantly in there. And also, let's see, this hits further, so you can get stuff like that. Not from that distance, but yeah, right there. So you can get confirms like that. Okay, let's see what. Give me a second. I'll try and test that. But from max range to Tommy, it's way easier to hit jump S into like a knockdown or whatever, which is like so nice. This is so nice because like it goes further and faster. So stuff like that where you would not be able to get anything off of before, You can now get a knockdown, so that's mad good. I myself particularly like that change because I use a lot of ground tatami as like a counter poke, or just like in general footsies. So being able to get a knockdown off of something like that into Oki is like so nice. Definitely brings her closer to her previous iterations. Let me see, can I fuzzy Baiken? I don't think this will work, but I can try. Okay, let's see. Ah. Okay. Alright, let's try this. Nice one. Okay, I don't think it works. Or at least not so reliably. Ah, fuzzy jump K. Okay, let me try this. Fuzzy jump K. So she's still okay. Let's try BBBBB. Yeah, I don't really use fuzzy jump K to be honest. Wait, let's try that. I don't think so because nothing about her jump P or jump K changed in this patch. Jump S is faster, but it's not in position to hit with its hitbox. So the characters you couldn't fuzzy before, really Baiken, Mei. I think Faust is on that list as well. You shouldn't be able to fuzzy them in this version as well. Yeah, Meteor, Tatami, Fuzzy Jump K, so you'll have to do that. You know, confirm if they're stand blocking. But yeah, the Jump S change makes dust loops easier too. Excuse the errors. You'll have to trust me on this. I'm not getting my dash. Has the collision box changed throw range and close stuffs? I don't know if it changes her throw range or anything like that, to be honest. Let's see. Well, hers is hers close slash hits from pretty far anyway. So I don't know, to be honest. I'd have to do some extensive testing, or somebody with Rev2.0. For you PC guys, you would probably have to like do a comparison video or something. Cause I would not know that, to be honest. Since I can't go back on the patch, so. Also her dead angle got larger in this patch, so. Let's see. Okay. Still not the best, but does hit in places where it didn't hit before. Okay, instances like that. Before I don't think it would have hit right there. It was pretty bad previously, like really bad. But now the hitbox is better, so it's more reliable. As far as like dead angle usage, it's there. I mean, ideally you don't want to do it. Yeah, it's larger inward. The 6B hitbox. So what that means is that when a hurtbox goes inside of it, it's more reliable to hit the opponent's hurtbox. That's basically what it does. So there's that. Because previously a lot of buttons would just like whiff through your dead angle. Because the hurtbox inside. Hitbox, excuse me, was not large enough. So that's a nice quality of life change. Yozansen. Okay, so I'm sure a lot of people have seen like the Twitter videos and whatnot. This move recovers much faster, and she falls faster as well. Yeah, look how quick that recovers. It's mad fast. So what that means is that you can, well, if you end a combo with Yozansen in the air, you will fall faster, thus you can land and put yourself in a better position. Obviously you can like timer scam with your Yozansen, super jump. Yeah, it's pretty funny. You can fly with Yozansen. But what this really means is that off of counter hit Yozansen you can pick up. So whereas before that was not possible, but now you can pick up off of that. So I guess what this is like would be really good for would be like a cross up Yozansen, or somebody's like really button happy on wake up. If you don't want to use 6K as like a throw bait or something, if you got the meter, you could use Yozansen, then confirm the counter hit, and then pick up off of it. So stuff like that. Which means in the corner you can get full combos off a counter hit Yozansen. So that's mad nice. See, like look at that damage you get. And then if you already got the meter and you confirm the counter hit, yeah, so what's really good about this is since Baiken builds risk so fast, if you hit somebody with TK Yozansen and their risk gauge is up, you can just like light them up, like whew, their health bar will actually just melt. So yeah, I would, it definitely encourages you to rack up their risk gauge more. So I guess for you more offensive Baiken players, you would probably want to focus on that. Like make that a part of your game plan, because the return is like super high. Like if they block like even a 5p, they're in a 50 feet or 50-50, and lower high, you get a ton damage. Yeah, and you get the save meter as well, so that's super nice. I don't believe she's ever had this before, so this is something new. It'll definitely catch a lot of people off guard, and it'll force them to spend their meter on FD more. So I'll have to go through this more and see what kind of combos you can get off of on different characters and weight classes. I mean, obviously it's going to be harder on a heavyweight character than it is a lightweight, but we'll just have to go through and see. Okay, so moving on. Asami, the overall frames of this have been increased. I don't know the specifics since we don't have hard data on it yet. But the startup is definitely still 1 frame. But I don't know if that means the overall active frames have been increased. Or if it's just, if it's the recovery. It could be either or, it could be both. So I don't know, to be honest. Yeah, it's more so, I don't think it's so much as that you can hold it longer. If it is, then it's like by a marginal amount, because it honestly feels the same as before. Like essentially 2 seconds, but it could be like a frame or 2 more. Or they could have actually just increased the recovery by a couple of frames as well. That would ramp up the overall frames of Asami as well. So, as far as purple Asami goes, I don't know. It's either or. Either the recovery frames have been increased, the active frames, or possibly both. That's what the patch notes say. So, I have to wait till we get hard data on that one. One of my favorite changes is actually, okay, so I'll give this some background. So before, if you let go of Asami while you were holding it, you would just get hit. Unless you did this convoluted motion, which was let go after you hold it, you would hit tap forward and then back to block. So if you look at my inputs, it was something like that, of that nature, and you couldn't hold back while you were doing it as well. So you could do something like that before. Yeah, I'll showcase that. But now for the held Asami, you can just, as long as you don't use a back input and you let go, you can just straight up block. So that is mad good. As long as it catches, like, even if it's like, even if you just tap it and it catches, you can still block after. So that allows you to just like instant block, get more meter. This is like really good against projectiles, especially multi-hitting ones. Because if you block them, well, if you Asami them, you can instant block them for more meter. And depending on what the opponent does, after that block stun or during that block stun, if they swing, you can Asami again. So it creates a bit of a mind game. I particularly like it against Ino, Venom, characters like that, multi-hitting projectiles. So, as well as Leah, since he has like the big multi-hitting fireball. Actually, let me just pick one of them and show it off. So I'll show you what I'm talking about with Ino. So I played against a bit of Ino on Friday. This was something new I was trying to implement. Okay. Oops. Try and get that instant block now. Things like that. So stuff like that. You don't have to commit to anything when you just Asami a projectile, block string, anything. So you no longer have to commit to a follow-up. You can return to a defensive or neutral position. So it definitely gives your opponent something more to think about. So that's actually one of my favorite changes. It really helps her defense. There was another stylish mode change, but unless you're a lord, then don't play stylish. Okay. Let's see how much meter is on me. Let's see. I don't know the hard numbers. Let's see. Attention. So let's do a bit. Oh wait. So you get not much. The nice thing about IB though is that your tension pulse goes up. So when you IB, you get more meter following. See? Look at my meter. Whereas before, I wouldn't have hit that amount that fast. So that's one of the good things about that as well. So it increases your tension pulse, so kind of want that. Okay, so let's just go through this. Red Asami. Some of the JP players have been doing some research, and I believe the window is now up from 1 to 3 frames active to 1 to 7. So it's much easier to hit. If I could. Oh, 1 second. Okay, so something like that. It's easier. So whereas before, that would be much harder to hit. Yeah, it's more than double, so it's 1 frame off, I believe, from the instant block window. So if you get an instant block, then you should be able to do this. So it's definitely more than worth practicing now. Because you don't know guaranteed Red Asami. Yes. Yes. Like free. It's mega free. Like it is omega free. Like if they throw out multi-hitting projectiles, see, you can even do that. You can just Red Asami then block again. So it's super free, like even in the air. Oh, have her aim it upwards. See? Grinder. Yes, you can do that with pretty much any multi-hit projectile. It's very easy to do this now. So you don't have to worry so much as missing it when you're being locked down by like a multi-hit projectile. You don't have to worry so much as that is what your opponent does to what countermeasures they have for that. Whoops. That's oh. I don't know Kai anything. Okay, that's it. Okay. There, easy. Yeah, it's super easy now. Oops. And then if he like hits a button, you can just smack him. So it's much easier. Where's the tension? So this is gonna change some stuff. Like it's mega free. Oh, you gotta wait for him to swing. Don't get like too red Asami happy. I would say you don't want to do that. So do stuff like that. Stuff like that. If they get too aggressive, things of that nature. Yeah, it's much easier. So like common Kai stuff, just like blah 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 into 6K. You're definitely going to want to target those pressure resets from your opponent. With everything. How fast can you Asami cancel into block, then Asami again? Okay, this will be easier if I show it off with this. Wait, did I just do it? Okay, so it's pretty seamless actually. So if you read Asami, you can go to block immediately. Just get used to the motion. Yeah, stuff like that. So you can do it seamlessly. Actually, I want him to hit a button. Oops. Okay. As you can tell, I don't play this character, like, at all. Oh, I missed it. Yeah, you gotta be a little careful, though. Let's see, I'm doing it too fast. There you go. So, you can do cute stuff like that. If they see you just like blocking, and then you're a zombie, and they try and like hop over or do blah blah blah, you just do it again. So stuff like that. She's definitely gonna be way more annoying to fight. People are gonna be pissed off. Block everything. Stand. Block switch enable. Oh, okay. Yeah, stuff like dash, jump, late air dash, jump S, H. Things of that nature. Yeah, let me try something else. Does Asami have anything? Yes. Excuse me. Sakura is strike involved from frames 1 to 17. Mawari Komi is strike involved. What frames is it? Let's say 1. No, it's 1 to 16. And then Metsudo is involved. Frame 1 to 9. It's full involved. Metsudo's the only one that's full involved. And yes, Kuchinashi has upper body involved frames 1 through 12 or 1 through 13. I want to say it is 1 through 12, basically. Well, on the 12th frame, she becomes airborne, but before she has upper body involved. They're all vulnerable to throw. Except for when Kuchinashi becomes airborne and Metsudo is full involved. So Sakura and Mawari Komi can be thrown. So you have to be careful of that. Okay, I know you can 6P that setup, but let's ignore that for now. Okay, so that's cute. So stuff like that, they do something like that, it is way easier. What the hell is that? What? This is fucking bots. Yo, mods. Yo, where are my mods? You know what, you are actually about to... Fucking bots. Okay. Jesus Christ. Okay, link deleted, so don't worry about that. Okay, where the... Where were we? Okay, yeah, red is Asami. So, things are way easier to, red parry now. So you definitely want to target, like, key points in your opponent's pressure, and then just smack them. So, for, like, high players, it's things like his 6K. So, when they go for something like that, you just red Asami it. So, things of that nature. One thing to help you practice it now, is just practice side bang. Since the timing is similar, that's a way to practice it, even mid-match. Because the other change about it, if you miss it, oops, I wanted to miss it there. You're in a counter hit state now. Whereas before, if you missed a red Asami, you were not in counter hit state, only from purple Asami. So it's much more reliable, more consistent, and you'll get more return out of it. But it technically carries more risk, since there were instances where I would miss it, and a soul would 6P me after I missed it, and you know what happens when soul counter hit 6Ps you. So be mindful of that. Potemkin. I have not played Baiken versus Pot in this version. But I can't imagine it would be too much better. I think the jump S buff is gonna really help, and probably 6P buff. But as far as red Asami goes, I don't know yet. I need to play it. Okay, so we talked a lot about red Asami. It's much better. Like, oh my god. So you use it. It is real now. Okay. So for Asami, does he have an anti-air fireball? Who in this game has an anti-air fireball? Someone tell me. Who has an anti-air fireball? So I guess she'll this off easily. Raven? Oh. No, I'll just show it off with Zato. Cause Asami actually got buffed, so it'd probably be pretty damn good against him. Oh, I mentioned she has more health at the beginning of the stream. It definitely helps round out her defense. So for this move. Apparently for the unheld version, the shortest possible catch window has been increased. So, again, I don't have hard data on it, but if you just tap Asami, the window to catch and parry has been increased. So, if you want to just tap it like that, it's gonna catch stuff easier. So, it's been nice. Which, against Zato in particular, you'll be able to get stuff like that off quicker. So, say if he's going for, I don't know, nobody do 2H. Oh, well, none of those are invul, but there. Say if he goes for something like that. It's easier to just like react it over you and just like hit it. Oh, alright. Yeah, things of that nature. So, the overall duration of Asami has been increased. So, let's see. That means I'm gonna do this. Okay, let's try this. So, whereas before, if you just held this, it would not last so long, and then she'd just be floating in the air, and then she comes down vulnerable. Now though, she can just hold this in the air, like, straight up. It's so nice. Like, so that means even when she's in the air, your opponent has to be mindful of Asami. Whereas before, not so much, because the Asami duration was much, much shorter than the ground one. But she can pretty much hold it until she lands on the ground. Which is like really good, because you don't have to commit to a follow-up anymore. So that's really nice. The landing recovery has been reduced, as you can see. Whereas before, I'd still be vulnerable. As far as like blocking afterwards, but now you can see how quick the landing recovery is. There is still some landing recovery, but it is not nearly as severe as it was before. So, and if you miss it, see if I can get Eddie to hit my landing recovery. I don't believe this is in counter hit state either. No, it is not in counter hit state. So that's actually a buff nobody's been mentioning that I think is like really good. Like that's really good. Let's see. Let me try something. Whoops, forgot to FD. This is something I need to test, but I don't think you can air block after this though. No, there's still some recovery after you catch it, so. Okay, so you can't just air zombie something and. Wait, let me see. This would be easier if I had Uno. I don't remember reading anything about the Arizami being able to block, cancel it essentially. Kikyo's probably worse than 6B and Himawari? Kikyo has its uses. It definitely has its uses. Oops. Just looking at bad. Okay. Okay, never mind, you can. Okay, so yes, you can block cancel the air zombie version as well. So that's actually super nice. Just be careful of air unblockable moves. Okay. Yeah, so if it's an air unblockable move, you'll have to FD immediately after it. So that's really good. That's super good. And also, if you air zombie successfully, you have no landing recovery. So keep that in mind. Your opponents will have to keep that in mind as well. Let's see. Okay, so moving on. I know LTL's gonna love this buff, but this move, Rokonsogi, look how far it goes now. So that goes super far. That probably went like half that distance before. It also comes down much faster. So what that means is that you'll get more consistent knockdowns, especially from further distances. Let's see. Let's try max range. So like max range 5H, you get a knockdown now. This is mad nice. Mad nice. See, even from a string like that, you get a knockdown. Yeah, just make sure you input it as fast as possible. Fastest Rokonsogi was previously 13 frames. I don't know if it's still technically 13 frames or not, but what really matters is the horizontal distance and speed it goes now. And so that's actually a big deal. Over the weekend, I was just like throwing this move out and getting a lot of counter hits because it would just like touch people from places unexpected. It also makes it easier to space out on block to make it safer. So that's mad nice. Because if they block it from like its max distance, then it's gonna be plus, like +2. So it goes a little over half screen now, like in that distance, yeah. Essentially. Yeah, that's mad good. Like more consistent knockdowns is like an issue she had before, especially from playing footsies. This makes her ground game much stronger. I think her ground game was pretty good as it was. It wasn't bad per se. It wasn't the greatest, but it was pretty damn good. This makes it a lot better. So I know people are gonna call this like mad scrubby, and to be honest, it might be that way. It might be, because you just throw it out there, and if you get a counter hit, then well, let's just see the damage. You bleed. Oops. So yeah, they just get like a random counter hit. They just lose like half their life. So, yeah, be careful of that. And be aware that this makes it better from the Suzerain guard point since it'll travel further and faster. So be aware of that when you're trying to poke Baiken, especially at a mid-range footsies game with mids. You want to try and hit her with lows more often because she's going to be trying to throw that out. And the hitbox on it is pretty damn good. Okay, so moving on. Let's take this counter. So Kobbari got a bit of a buff. If you hold back and then put a button, you will not get a follow-up. Whereas before, you would have to time it towards the end of it and then input a follow-up. Now you can just hold back and mash whatever and you won't get a follow-up. Whereas before, you would like accidentally get follow-ups and whatnot. This makes it good because you won't accidentally get Himawari when you try and wire C it anymore. You just hold back and wire C. That was like something that really pissed me off before. Where sometimes if you barely miss the wire C, you would get Himawari. So it's nice that you won't accidentally get follow-ups and then just die. Let's see. It also fixed a bug from the Kobbari. I have to put her on jump. It used to have some weird stuff when it would hit at like its lowest point in the air. Previously, I don't think they would get that tumbling effect if you hit them too low. It was really weird. And you wouldn't be able to follow up either, but they fixed that. So any height you hit it at, you'll be able to follow up. Even if it's like nay, like a pixel off the ground. So that's a nice little bug fix. Going back to Kobbari, the H version. So when it hits in the air, your opponent floats a little less. It's got slightly more on tech time, and they don't get pushed back as hard. Let's see if I can time this. Okay, so yeah. So one thing Baiken was really vulnerable to previously were just like opponents mashing backstep. Cause say like Johnny, you know, blah blah blah, whoever, who had a pretty decent backstep or really good one, they would just mash it all day. And if they got hit by this, they wouldn't care, and they just tech buttons in your face. And there wasn't really much you could do about it. Since they were pretty high up, Baiken was still in recovery, and they were involved with buttons in your face. So it left you in a bad position, and she got nothing off of it. Whereas now, you can at least, well, or normal hit, you'll get the ace follow-up, pretty much always. So they're mashing backstep. Then you can hit them with Rokensogi, so that's nice. And if you don't do it, then you're not in as bad of a position as before. Kind of want to hit it at a distance though. So if they forward tech, they're gonna be like right in your 6P range, and 6P got buffed, so it's not like a super shitty situation anymore, which is nice because it means she can at least do stuff against Johnny mashing backstep all day, or anyone. So that's mad nice. Okay, so Himawari. Once it becomes active, it's a PRC now. Whereas before, it would be a wire C. You get a bigger buffer to RC it on hit now. So I guess that's okay. I mean, I thought it was pretty easy before, but you can do it a bit later now. See? So it'll make, where's the health bar? on the rare chance that you actually like hit somebody with this. Oh, well then. There, you can do that easier. So, have fun with that. Move still sucks. And then... there... yeah, it's technically an IK buff, but it's still mad whack. I mean, it's funny, but they could have done more with that move, honestly. Honestly, just like make it real. But maybe in the next version. The final change was that Surane Sanzu Watashi. Last hit, if the cinematic plays, it can't be RC'd. So previously, just look at my input display. So before, like at the moon, I believe you were able to RC that. So if you mistime your RC, you would get it too early. That's no longer the case, I think. Yeah, I think that's the case. It's a little vague, but there's an RC change on this last hit. It's not too big of a deal, to be honest. But that was pretty much it. Yeah, I remember, yeah. So if you just RC it for the last slash now, then it's not gonna happen, so you'll always get your third hit and do an RC. Which is nice, so things like that. I guess my overall thoughts on these changes, they address some things that I really wanted them to address. I didn't so much care about her health, but I'll take the additional help. But really, it was just like making her defense way more consistent, way more rewarding, and also her offense more consistent, getting more consistent knockdowns, things of that nature. Just like rounding out her defense, because she's supposed to be a defensive monster, right? And whereas before, people could just like monkey you all day and just like not give a shit. Right now, I feel that her defense is definitely complete. Like, she's a lot closer to her old iterations, and they didn't diminish her return off of it. So I think Baiken players who want to play more defensively, and even offensively, who like jump S buff and Roken Sogi buff, they'll have a much easier time. She feels like a real character, basically. But yeah, it's just like, how do I want to put this? Her defense is now complete, and her conversions are much more consistent and stable. And I want to say her offense is a bit better too. So overall, everything's much better. Despite the fact that they didn't really change the frame data on her moves, I think the frame data on her moves and like her buttons in general are pretty fine. They're just a little specific in what they do, but they're really active, so I think they know what they're doing with this character, and they've kind of like taken the right direction to complete her in this game. Without going overboard, I guess it might be too soon for me to say which matchups will be like much better. since I haven't played enough of her, but things such as where's that character? Okay. Can I set her houses to level up quicker without using clock up? I just want them at level 3. Okay. Okay. So let's do this. All right. Get them all out. Whoops. I forgot to record it. Okay. I don't play this character. Okay, there we go. Okay, so let's take a situation like this, because this is a situation I've been in like a gajillion times, because you know I play with .nova. Okay. This situation is probably going to be much better for Baiken. Okay, so things like that. Whereas before, even with all that junk, good luck hitting red Asami. It just was not happening. Whereas now, you can do that. And if I got bar and she swings, that happens. So you can threaten your opponents a lot more. Just like make them have more to worry about. Like they actually have to take that into account during their pressure. And you'll probably be playing more RPS situations with your opponent with that, but since your return is so high off of Asami follow-ups, it's hella more than worth it now. Hella more than worth it. So she's a real character in conclusion. Do I think she'll be like low tier in this version? To be honest, I think she'll probably be like mid-tier-ish, which is like much better than before. If I were to give prediction on which matchups could be better, probably this one. Probably Venom. Maybe Ino. I don't know about Ino. She got some crazy buffs. No, never mind about that. Who else? Let me look at this damn cast. Maybe Dizzy won't be as bad as before. Although it wasn't really that bad. I don't know much about Heihyun. Raven matchup obviously is going to be better. I thought she went even with Raven before, but we'll see now. It could possibly swing in her favor. It's a possibility. Soul maybe a bit better. The Rogue Konsogi buff helps against like 2D, but I think this matchup will still be bad. Kai might be better, maybe. I can see Kai being better. Mei, I don't know to be honest. Milia, I don't know to be honest, because you always... I mean, this matchup's always been pretty good for Milia. Zato, I thought Zato was in her favor before. Certainly I feel the same way, especially now. Pot, Chip, I don't know much about this matchup. Faust, it's hard to say with the changes between both characters. I thought it was even before. I don't know now how it will change. Axel, it'd probably be better. Venom, I think, would be better. Slayer, I think, will probably be better as well. Bedman, I think, will probably be better. Ram might be better. Sin, I think the Sin matchup will likely be better. Elfelt, I thought Elfelt was pretty fine before. Would probably be better. Leo, I thought was in Baiken's favor. Should be better. I hate this character. I hate this character too. Answer. I don't know. But that's pretty much it. The stream probably lasted longer than I expected, but that's okay. But yeah, that's it for Baiken's changes. Overall, she's much more stable, more consistent, and her defense and overall it was like really good. Now I think it's very strong. So that's pretty much it. Thanks you guys for tuning in, and I'll try and stream more once I get my PC built. Should be hopping on with you Steam Warriors later this week, probably this weekend. I'll have it completely built. So thanks for tuning in, and happy birthday to Baiken. Thank you.